Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Am I the only one that does these silly things? Guess who dropped all of her beads and bits and pieces all over the floor? Like I really needed all that today. I was trying to get all my things sorted, ready to make some of my stars up that I do for Christmas and that, and for gifts and things like that. And Clever Clog's here. Dog's getting under me feet, trying to get out the way, knocked the whole lot down. This is not all of it. I've got another lot to go through. I had these all separated in their colours, and now I've got the sort. And this is going to take, as any of you know that drop beads or anything like that, it takes ages to sort them all out, back in their colours, put them back in the boxes. I just didn't need it today. I've been busy doing other things. So I just thought, well, come on, see if I'm the only one that's a numpty today and does this sort of thing. It's frustrating because it's wasted time to me, but I guess. And of course, everywhere I've dropped them, dog's ears and it's like, oh no. And my two darling dogs are just sitting there looking at me like, what's your problem? You know, what are you getting upset about? Why are you shouting at us? Oh dear. I'm getting sick of this cold. But I had last night, I had 5 hours sleep, so I'm really lucky. And I'm glad, and I do feel better for it. But I've got a sore throat today. My head is banging, and I just think that's the tail end of this cold. I'm hoping it will go soon because I just think, oh, I'm sick of having these snivels. And I was fine until I had my flu jab. I don't even know why they do them sometimes, because they just make you ill, don't they? But never mind, never mind. So I hope everyone's all right and you're all I expect you're all busy crafting away. I know I am. I've just done another, well, just about finished another Christmas present, which I'm going to video, but you guys won't see it until after Christmas because who it's for sometimes watches my channel, so I don't want them seeing what I've done them, you know. So I try and keep things like that in the background because I don't want to spoil the surprise for people. I've got a couple of bits to get done that I want to get done for my challenge, which is coming up. Well, not coming up, but that'll be here before we know it. We've got one more day for the raffle, and unfortunately it doesn't look like we're going to sell the other 6 tickets. If I don't get any more next month in November's raffle, if I don't sell any more, then I shall just do the raffle for that month with what tickets I have sold, and then I'm just not going to do it again because it's not I thought it would go quite well. I thought it was something different, but maybe it's something I'll try again in the new year, because you're getting a good bargain there for those laces. But obviously people right now are, I guess they're spending their money elsewhere, and I don't blame them really. I'm on a no spend, so I'm guessing I'm not the only one that is trying to save, you know, and not spend more money on stuff. Now this is the fun one. Look at it. You see it all? That's all mixed up. And I don't know where to start. Well, I think the best thing to do is get the green ones out. I'll put all the green ones in this little bath container here I have here. So all the drop beads and that I use. Ooh, I'm going to have beads everywhere, I know I am. But I don't have a lot of choice. I've got to do it so that I can, before I start. Oh, I don't know, but I guess you guys do the same things. Accidents happen, don't they? And it's so frustrating when it does, because these are so fiddly. And my hands are quite sore as it is today without having to piddle around doing this, but never mind, it's got to be done. I just have to move them a bit further away from where they were so this doesn't happen again, so I don't trip and knock them all again. But I thought I had them in a safe place, obviously not. But, oh dear. But yeah, so I will eventually get around to doing some of me little Christmas ornaments that I do. I do enjoy doing them every year. It was something me and Chloe used to do, but I don't know, I'm not complaining, she's growing up, she's turning into an amazing young lady, but I do miss that let's sit and craft together thing. She'd rather sit and play on her tablet or her phone, you know, which is what kids do, I guess. They're all I mean, I shouldn't begrudge it. I don't begrudge it, but I miss that. Come on, Nana, let's get and do something for Christmas. And when I used to say to her, right, I'm going to start doing the Christmas snowflakes, she's like, oh, can I do some? And then she'd sit and do them with me, and we'd sit there for 2 or 3 hours just messing about doing Christmas decorations and that. And it seems funny this year that it's just not what she wants to do now. And I guess she's getting older. She doesn't want to be sat there getting bored, I suppose, with Nana. I'm hoping if I just back off, leave her alone, she'll come and do it on her own. Do you know what I mean? She'll miss those bits herself and then decide that she wants to do it again. So I'm not going to force her to do things she doesn't want to do. I don't believe in that at all. But it's just seemed very strange to me this year that she's not so into that Christmas atmosphere, which is really, because normally she's the first one. Once her birthday's over and done with, that's it. It's Christmas mode for Chloe, which is the beginning of October, you know, and that's it. She's Christmas mode and nothing's going to change that. She's wants to go down to the range to go and see all the Christmas decorations. She wants to go to everywhere that's got all their Christmas stuff out so she can have a look at it all, but she really doesn't seem that bothered. So, which I suppose in its own way is good. I suppose that in its own way is good because it means we don't get the pressure. I'll be honest, I will be honest, Chloe is very, very good. She is not I want. Well, she's got used to, she can't have everything that she wants because life's not like that, you know. We would all like this and that and everything else, but she is very good because she does know that she can't have everything she wants. So we are lucky like that, really, and I guess that's just the way we brought her up to know she'll get, you know, some of the things she wants she will get, but not everything, because I mean we do as a family. I mean, people say, oh, you know, the family saying, well, what should we get Chloe, you know, and I say, well, this is what she would like, this is what we've got her, so can you let me know what you're getting her so I don't tell other people so she doesn't have presents doubled up, you know. Christmas is going to be here. I can't believe it's here again because it just doesn't seem like 5 minutes since I was doing my last Christmas challenge, and I'm sat here already sitting there and just looking at my dog. He's got himself covered over with a blanket. I guess he must be cold. I've already got my challenge for next Christmas all sorted and ready in my head, you know. But who knows what next year. But this year seems to have just flown by, and I don't know where it's all gone. You know, it's like 1 minute we were just putting up the tree for me decoration challenge, and then it's like, wow, take it all down again, and the year has just gone and it's flown by. And I'm off down to Portsmouth in probably about a month now. Well, no, the beginning of December, so it's a little while off yet. 4 or 5 weeks it is. to go and spend a week with my sister, and that'll be something I don't normally do that. I don't normally go away in the winter months because up here we get the cold weather, the snow and all that, so it is kind of like sometimes you take your life in your hands if you're going out, and you may not get back because it may be snowed in, and I'm hoping it won't happen, so because I don't want my daughter and me Chloe up here on their own for Christmas. Do you know what I mean? It's we're a family unit, and we have our Christmas together all the time, so, and I don't want to miss that at all. So, but I was talking to my sister yesterday, and she sort of said to me, well, what do you want to do when you're down here? And I said to her, well, I've got a little bit of Christmas shopping to do that I can't do while have my family around me up here, for obvious reasons. I have to go and get it done when they're not about, because I'm all for the surprising, and my daughter's told me kind of what she wants this year, so I've got an idea. So I just sort of said to her, well, I want to do a day that I'll go out and finish off my Christmas shopping, and I said to her, depending on if when I get if I'm down there for when I do the draw for the challenge, I said I need to have a day that I've got to get sorted and get things sent off to the post, I said, because I need to get that done, and that'll get done. But other than that, I don't know. And I said to her, well, what do you want to do? It's her birthday week, she's her special birthday. She's taken a week off of work to spend it with me as well. So I know the family, her children are on about taking her. She doesn't want to party or anything like that. She sort of said to me, no, I don't want that. She wants to go for an afternoon tea somewhere nice. So and I do think her children are going, I say her children, they're adults, but her kids are going to arrange that in one of the big hotels down in Southsea to go for afternoon tea and that, and sort that all out. So that, I think, is what we're going to be doing actually on her birthday. But on the other days, I'm not too sure just yet, but I know we'll have a day out shopping. We always have a giggle when we go out shopping. I know we're going to, one of the days we're going to go we're going to family graves, which will be twice this year, which is good, because I want to get and do, we both said we would like to do a holly arrangement and that to go on my brother's, the family graves and that, and I also want to get and make a holly arrangement up and that. Well, we both do. We've said we both want to make up some flowers, things to put on my mum and dad's grave, which I will do on my way back, because my mum and dad aren't buried in Surrey. They're buried in Lincolnshire, where they lived at the time. So I'm going to, on my way back through, I will pop it over to the grave and put some Christmas flowers on, a holly wreath and that. So we're going to do that for a day. I think that's the day we're going to do, sort of spend making up the flower arrangements and the boat. I don't know if we're going to do wreaths or what we're going to do, but we'll talk about it when I go down there. So that'll be a day of that. We'll do that. We'll make those up, and then we'll go down to the church in Bisley again. I'll go down and put those on, so I get to my brother's grave before Christmas, which is what I want to do. So, and then we just go from there. So that's what. Apart from that, I don't know what we're going to do. She did say to me about going over onto down Portsmouth, just off the coast, on the coast between the Isle of Wight and Portsmouth Harbour and that. They've got the old forts that they had for during the war and that, and they've been there's a couple of them have been modernised, and they do one of those that's been done up, actually hires out or does afternoon teas. And Trish said to me, well, do you fancy doing that? I said, well, I don't mind doing it. Mind you, I don't know how we're going to get up onto it, because obviously you can't get, it's a fort. You've got to climb up some sort of ladders, and I'm not sure that either of us could make it now. We're probably a bit old for that sort of thing, but I'd definitely give it a try if I could. But she said to me, oh, how'd you fancy going there for afternoon tea and a tour around the fort? And I said, yeah, I'll do that sort of thing. And then I said to her, how much is it? £60 a head. 60 quid just to go and have an afternoon tea. I said I want a full-scale meal for that, not afternoon tea. So I'm not sure that we're going to be doing that. You never know. You never know. We might just change our minds and do it anyway. But yeah, and I did say to him, the trouble is you don't know what the weather's going to be like out at sea, you know, because it can get a bit rough, obviously, in the winter months, you know. And I'm quite sure that I certainly don't want to be going if the old boats are rocking. I really don't fancy that. I don't travel too well if the sea's a bit rough. So, yeah, so I'm not kind of sure, but I'm sure we'll have fun and do whatever we want to do, and gives me sister a week of doing what she feels like doing. She might get and do her Christmas shopping while she's at it, because she doesn't normally, she's like me, she doesn't normally have time off before Christmas. She'll work right up till the Christmas period, and obviously when you're working full time, it's very difficult. I don't know how some of these ladies do it. Well, I used to do it. We did. You manage, because I used to do it. You fit in. You have to fit in. But I do sit there now and I just think, oh, I don't know how I would cope if I was working full time and trying to get things ready for the family for Christmas, because it's quite an undertaking for everyone to get things done, isn't it? You know, and my Trish is like me, my sister's like me. She loves Christmas and she wants to do everything, but she lands up and she has to do it all herself, you know. My niece Jenny's not very well, so she can't do a huge amount, and so Trish lands up and she has to get it all sorted herself, and that's in between working, and she does full-time work, and I don't know how she does it. I really don't, but she does. She gets on with it and gets it done, and I just think, oh well. So I'm sure this will be quite a nice thing for her to actually go and be able to perhaps do her Christmas shopping while I'm down there, so that it's done. Be able to go to the shops rather than go online, and because I think that's what you miss, don't you, when you're working and that you just tend to go online and order rather than go to shops. But having also said that, a lot of the shops and that are closing down because they're just not getting the business anymore. And that's a shame, isn't it? That is a shame, but it's the internet for you. It's a wonderful thing in so many ways, but for small businesses and things like, it's a curse, because it's destroyed their businesses. They can't, people. And I get it, because I buy online rather than go to the shops. So I get it. I understand that people do, you know. It's the convenience of, you don't even have to go out your front door. You can just order it, pay for it, and it's delivered to your door. You don't even have to. I mean, these days, let's be honest, you don't have to go out of your front door to do anything these days. You can get everything you need and want online, and that's quite a scary thing, because I suffer with anxiety, and I hate crowds of people. I mean, Newcastle I don't go near. I hate it, it's too many people pushing and shoving, and I don't like it. And so I tend to avoid Newcastle. Gateshead, I'm okay. I can go around. I can go to Aldi's, do my bit of shopping. But that's enough for me. That's busy enough, you know. I get down to Portsmouth, and that is a bit hectic because down south it is a built up area and there are loads of people everywhere. So I don't go shoppy as much as probably would like to, because I like to go down the shops and see what there is, but I don't do crowds of people. I just don't. I can't cope with them, so I don't do it. But so I do tend to look online, order online, because I can get it all delivered to the house. I don't even have to go out, spend money on petrol, car parking, anything. It's just there, isn't it? So and of course this time of year, like everywhere, get bonfire night over and done with, and that's it. It's manic. I won't even go on any of the roads near the metro centre this time of year, especially at the weekends. I've done it once, never ever will I do it again. I will not sit in a queue for 2 hours to travel not even a mile. And I've done that once, and I never will do it again. Much to Chloe's disgust, because she likes to go down to the range, and the range is on the metro centre. And she does like to go down there and have a look at all the Christmas stuff. And yes, they have some beautiful decorations in there, and I do enjoy going, but not when I've got a queue for 2 hours to get there. And then when you get there, you've got to sit in the car park for half an hour before you can even find a parking space. And then it takes you half an hour to an hour to get out of the car park, because everybody's, you know, that is how busy it is, and I do not like that. I tend to get a bit flustered, and then you always get idiots out on the roads that are losing their temper, getting themselves all stressed out, and I can't be doing with it, so I avoid it like the plague. And I know I haven't managed this year. I normally will try to get down there in October time, just as their Christmas stuff is starting to really be out and that, and have a real good look, and I haven't managed it this year at all. I haven't been down there at all this year to look at any of the Christmassy stuff, and I'm not going to. I mean, you can go and buy their stuff online, because the Ranger's got an online store, so you can do that, but there's nothing like walking around that Christmas atmosphere. That's half the fun, I suppose, isn't it? You know, for everybody. But I just can't. I can't deal with those people. I do sit there sometimes and I think, oh, I'm getting old, because people just irritate me. You know, and I do sit there and I do sometimes think, oh, Linda, you sound so like your dad used to be. You know, oh, I can't be bothered with all the queues, all this, all that. And I'm just the same. Cannot be doing with it. I would rather just have a nice, peaceful, quiet time at home with the family, watching films, having a laugh, a giggle, playing games, whatever we do. Do you know what I mean? I cannot be. I don't get all the stress that there is before it to buy all these great big things, and you get to this. I mean, I don't know. Do you guys sit there when you go Christmas shopping, say for your food shopping and that, and you see these people, and I just sit there and I just think, oh my God, and they're going around the supermarkets and they've got 2 or 3 trolleys, and they're buying stuff like there's no tomorrow. The shops don't even close. Do you know what? Around here, we get shops that are open all the time. Even Christmas Day, our local shop in the corner, just the corner shop from me, which is literally just on the street corner, is open on Christmas Day. So there is no going without. You don't You know, the shops are open, but these people are buying stuff like the shops are going to close for a month. They're never going to eat everything. You're never going to eat all that stuff that you buy because you just, doesn't matter how much of a pig you are, your body just cannot cope with that much food. And then you just can't eat it. And then what's the point? Because you'll end up chucking it away. I know, I've done it myself. And I just think, well, what a waste. And I do. I done it myself when I was younger. When the kids were younger, I used to go mad. Used to go crazy buying stuff. And I landed up, most of it, we were still eating Christmas stuff in the freezer at February, March time that I bought, you know? Because you just can't eat it all. As much as you want to, you can't. And I don't get all that, you know? And I remember going through the till a couple of years ago. And this woman was in front of me and she was getting so stressed out that she'd forgotten things on her list. And she had 2 trolleys full. And it was like, you're never going to eat all that anyway. So what are you stressing about? And I wonder. Sometimes I wonder what pressure we put on ourselves to have everything. You don't need it. You're never going to eat it all. So what's the point? You might as well just do what you can. Buy the things you know you're going to eat. And let the rest of it just go. Just don't stress about it. You know, you don't need that amount of food. You just can't eat that amount of food. Your bodies are not built to eat that amount of food, honestly. And it's just crazy. And that's what I hate this time of year. And it always brings it home to me then the homeless people and those that just don't have the money, you know. How must all of that in the shops make them feel? You know, it's just, I hate that. You know, those that have and those that don't have, and they just forget those that haven't got. And it's awful because we as a community should always look out for those that are less unfortunate. It's like I always say, I sit and moan about things and what's going on in my life and that, but I always sit there and I always say there is somebody worse off than me. Even on my darkest days when things have really been bad, and I've always thought there's someone worse off than me that's having a harder time than I am, you know. May not be able to do anything physically to help them, but I do think about them, and if I do, I've got in trouble for doing it, and that frustrates me because I have seen those that beg, and I do give them money. If I've got spare cash, I'll give them a bit to go and get a cup of coffee or something. But I got in trouble from it once because apparently it encourages them to beg. And I just think, well, you've got to be very desperate to sit on a street corner or whatever and beg for money, for food, for a cup of coffee. And what's a cup of coffee? You know, I don't have an ever-ending amount of money in my pocket, but if I can give someone a cup of coffee. So now what I do, rather than give them the cash, I'll go and ask them if they want a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or a sandwich or whatever, or I'll say, come with me, and I'd take them in. But a lot of the shops won't serve them these days. They refuse to serve them, and I don't understand that either, you know. So I just normally go buy them a hot coffee or a cup of tea, or buy them a sandwich. It don't cost, you know. Makes me feel better because I know I've tried to help somebody, because I'd like to think if that was me in that situation, somebody would do it for me. But this time of year and the cold coming in and that, and I do sit there and I do feel for those that are homeless, and unfortunately there are many of them out there. And it's not just in the UK, it's all over the world. There are many thousands of people who are living on the streets, who live in horrendous accommodation, who have nowhere to live, don't have the money. And I do sit and think about them, because it's awful. It's awful. But it's part of our world, I'm afraid, at the moment, isn't it? Everybody, I think as a race, we've become very selfish. Not everyone, don't get me wrong, not everyone is selfish. There are people out there that will do whatever they can to help, but I do find those that have keep hold of it, and they become very, very selfish in their attitude towards others, and it's wrong. It's wrong, but it's the way it is these days, I'm afraid. See, going off on a chit chat. Thought, oh, come on, do a little chit chat while I'm sorting these awful beads out. And then I get talking about things I probably shouldn't even really talk about online, because it can get you in trouble, because people don't like it when you voice your opinions. But we're all entitled to our opinions. I'm not trying to force it down everybody else's throat. It's the last thing I'm trying to do. I'm just telling you how I feel about things that go on this time of year. It's sometimes we all need to just take a step back and think about other people and what their lives are like and what's happening to them, because there is always somebody worse off. No matter what you're going through, there is always somebody worse off than you are. And if we can, as a human race, help that one person, even if it is just one person, it's something. And it makes you, I think it makes me feel better, because I feel like I have helped in a little way, even if it is only a coffee, only a sandwich. But to them, that could be a lifeline. You know, that could be something that they haven't had for 3 or 4 days. So we all should, instead of buying that extra can of beer, or that extra bottle of wine, or that extra bit of cake, or that extra sausage, whatever, you know, that we all think we can't live without, because we'll all die of starvation if we don't have. Maybe we ought to all sit and think, you know, well, let's think of those that don't have that. Even if it is just once a year. I try to every Christmas time, try to do something. And it's silly really, because they should do it all year round, because there's people all year round like it. You know, there's all these, the Samaritans, there's the Salvation Army, there's all those sort of things, and they do amazing jobs out there with very little recognition. But I know for a lot of them, you know, they do their Christmas appeals and things like that, and I just think, well, and it's sad that we've got to do that to help our own. You know, the community spirit is gone now. There is no there is definitely no people out there helping each other anymore, and I find that sad. I do find that sad. I mean, when we were younger, and I'm sure a lot of you feel the same, when you were younger, wherever you lived, I mean, maybe it's not necessarily that now, but when you were younger, where you lived, you knew everybody and everybody knew you. I don't even know my next door neighbour's name, you know, and I don't see them from one day to the next. I see people to nod at and to say hello to, and I know they're my neighbours, but I don't know their names. People are too busy with their own lives. They don't want to get involved. They don't want to know. I mean, when I was younger, even when my kids were growing up, you always went round your neighbours. Your neighbours were your friends, and you went and had a cup of coffee with them. I mean, I had one friend I used to go round, and me and her would just sit there all day nattering, just nattering. I used to get in trouble because I didn't get half my jobs done that I should have got job done, because I'd spend 4 or 5 hours round her house. But that's what it was like, you know. But that doesn't happen anymore. It doesn't happen anymore. I think everybody thinks there's ulterior motives, and there's no trust in anybody anymore. Nobody trusts anybody anymore, do they? That's something I've noticed, that people just don't trust anymore. And that's sad, but that again is life. That's what has happened over the years, and that people just don't. They let people in and something happens and they just don't. They don't want them in their lives, and that's it, you know. So like I say, you know, it's just all out for themselves, and nobody worries about their neighbours anymore. I mean, let's say when we were kids, if you got in trouble, out and you were out. By the time you got home, your parents knew about it and you got in trouble again. Because your parents would be told, because everybody knew who you were. Everybody knew where you lived. So you couldn't do things without getting in trouble for doing it. So, and it stopped you doing it. These days, you just, I wouldn't know whose kids are whose. They're out there and that's it, causing havoc, doing whatever they like. Sad, very sad. Our lives are so different to what they were when we were children. And I know everybody says, oh, but it was so hard back then. It wasn't. It was easier. It wasn't hard. It was easier than it is these days. I think it's harder to go through life now than what it ever was when I was younger. See, you guys have helped me get this all sorted. Now I can turn it off, go back and do what I was going to do, which was that I was going to put the video on while I was making some of my Christmas decorations. And now I've done that box. Hey. But I'm not sure where the rest of these came from because I haven't got the boxes they were in. So, okay, let's just see. They're probably here somewhere, but, okay, let's see. That's that one there. Okay, so that one goes in there. See, I got them all. But, I do apologise if I bored you, or 40 minutes of blathering on, and but it's a job I needed to do. I was sitting here and I was like, I don't want to sit here and do this all on my own. So I thought, look, come on, have a quick chat with everyone, see how we're all doing, what you're all up to. While I was sorting these silly beads out, now I'm getting there slowly but surely. I have to just be a bit more careful. Definitely watch what I'm doing in future. And I will be back once I've had a cup of coffee. I'm going to go make myself a coffee, and then I shall be back, and I'll put the video on again and show you how I put my stars together if I can. But I will see you all shortly. Take care. Lots of love to you all. Bye.